9 out of every 10 people who try to lose weight never actually reach their goals, and those who do often end up gaining it all back. So what are the 1 in 10 people doing differently to lose weight and keep it off forever? Well, it's not keto, clean eating, or any quick fixes. After coaching over 25,000 clients, I've seen it come down to 5 repeatable weekly habits. And in this video, I'm gonna hand you the checklist and show you exactly how to fit this into your life in a realistic, science-based way. No BS, no fluff, no gimmicks. And habit number 1 is fixing your weekends. Most people trying to lose fat wipe out their week's worth of progress between Friday night and Monday morning. It's like if you saved $100 during the week, but then on the weekends you spent $200. At the end of the week, you would be in the negative, saving no money. And trust me, I get it. The weekends are a time where you're more social, you're eating out more, and you just have a different routine. And I don't need you to be perfect and bring your meal prep chicken and broccoli to your restaurant when you go out to eat with friends, but I want you to think of this like going bowling. You know how in bowling, they set up those bumpers so your ball doesn't go in the gutter? That's exactly what we're going to set up for your weekends, and I have 3 rules that you're gonna follow. And by the way, these 3 rules are the same rules that our online coaching client Jason followed to lose over 50 pounds in 8 months. And so I promise these can work for you too. Rule number 1 is going to be called the pick 1 rule. And this is where when you go out to eat, you are going to pick between having an appetizer, having a dessert, or drinking alcohol. You are not going to have all 3. You're only going to pick 1 of the 3. Because this way you still get to enjoy yourself, but you're also keeping your calories in mind and your fat loss goals in mind so you don't overdo it and blow all of your progress. The second is gonna be the 15-minute rule. And this is before you go out and start your day, whatever time that is for you, you're gonna dedicate at least 15 minutes to a dedicated movement session. This could be a walk, this could be a bike ride, this could be a workout, this could be a stretching session, whatever it is, because this will kickstart your metabolism and your calorie burn for the day, on top of just mentally get you in a better place to make your health a priority and stay on track the rest of the day. And rule number 3 is protein and veggies. Most people make the mistake of trying to not eat and fast all day if you know you're going out later on the weekends. But this backfires because when you actually go out, you're starving and you end up binge eating and overeating because you can't control yourself. So instead of doing that, we want you to eat during the day, but you want to make the majority of what you eat some sort of lean protein and some sort of veggies. And you could also throw fruit in here as well. This can make sure you fill yourself up for low calories, so that way you get the benefits of not being starving later, but you're also saving calories during the day, so if you do end up eating more at night, it's not gonna ruin your progress. And honestly, even if you just pick 1 of these rules to follow, you're most likely gonna wake up Monday morning with the number on the scale down instead of gaining 3 pounds every Monday. But for the best results, you also have to pair this habit with habit number 2. Most people trying to lose fat cut out all of their favorite foods, thinking that's what they need to do to lose fat. And the way I equate this is to shaking up a can of soda. Every time you want something, but you don't allow yourself to have it, you shake up the soda. And a couple of days goes by, you still want the thing, the food, But you say, no, I can't have it, so you shake it up even more. And eventually, when you do open this soda, I'm not gonna do it because I don't feel like cleaning up my carpet, but what happens? It explodes and it goes everywhere. This is exactly what happens to you when you finally eat the food you've been craving but not allowing yourself to have. You way overeat, you binge eat for two reasons. You've shaken up the can of soda, and so you're going insane, but also you know you're gonna go back to not being allowed to have it, so you might as well have all of it right now. And so with this 300 calorie rule, our client Holly used it to help her lose over 80 pounds while eating the foods that she enjoyed. And so I know you've heard before, you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. And by the way, if you need to know exactly how many calories you should be eating, there's a free calorie calculator in the description of this video. But a calorie deficit doesn't mean all of those foods have to be clean and healthy. So with this 300 calorie rule, you are going to eat 300 calories per day of your favorite foods. And this can literally be anything. This could be cookies, this could be chips, this could be chocolate, this could be anything that you want. Because the beauty of this is 300 calories a day is not enough to massively impact your overall calorie deficit, because if you stick to 300 per day, the rest of your calories are still coming from nutrient-dense, good quality foods that will help you lose fat. And by the way, one of the habits later in the video is gonna be the best foods you should be eating to burn fat. And this also helps you not shake up the can of soda. If you're having your favorite foods in moderation every day, number one, you never get these crazy cravings for them because you're able to work them in throughout the week. And then number two, you also don't feel like they're in control of you. You can have anything you want whenever you want for the 300 calories a day. So it almost makes it like you're taking the power away from food and you're putting it back into your hands for you to lose fat. And number three, you'll actually stop hating your diet. And the number one reason people can't keep their weight loss off is because they hate their diet. So if you don't hate your diet, you'll be more consistent, which will allow you to make progress, but then sustain that progress long term. So today, pick whatever food you want and eat 300 calories of it. Now, as powerful as these first two habits are, you won't make the fat loss progress you want if you neglect habit number three. Thus far, we've talked about ways to decrease your calorie intake, but remember, a calorie deficit isn't just about eating fewer calories, because if that's all you focus on, you're gonna take your calories too low that you're not gonna be able to stay consistent with it, which will make you not lose fat in a sustainable way. This is why it's important to also focus on the calories out part of the calorie deficit equation, which is calories in, food you eat, calories out, the calories you burn, the exercise that you do. And the best way to do this is not what you think. One of our clients, Kathleen, came to us struggling to lose weight even though she had done HIIT cardio, running, boot camps, because she thought this high intensity cardio exercise was the best way to increase her calorie burn to lose weight. It wasn't until we implemented habit number three that I'm gonna share with you that helped kickstart her fat loss and helped her lose over 110 pounds. And that is setting a daily step goal of at least 6,000 steps per day, if not closer to 8,000 to 10,000 per day. And for some of you watching this, you might be like, Eric, that's really hard for me to get. I sit at a desk all day. I have to drive to and from work. Then I have to go chaperone my kids around to do their different sports and activities. But don't worry, I'm gonna show you how you can get that in a relatively easy way. So for every 10 minutes that you walk, you're roughly getting 1,000 steps. So let's say you take a 10-minute walk in the morning, you take a 10 to 20-minute walk at lunch, you take a 10 to 20-minute walk after dinner. These are called fart walks for those of you who don't know. And then let's just say your daily movement. Maybe you're parking farther away at your work, you're parking farther away at the grocery store, you're taking the stairs instead of the escalator. If you combine all of this, that's how you get to 8 to 10,000 steps per day. It doesn't have to be one dedicated long walk. It doesn't have to be at a certain speed or an incline, just moving more. All steps count to get you to that daily step goal. And this has really helped our online coaching clients because when you break it down like this probably seems much more doable and manageable in your day as opposed to taking an hour-long walk, which again, not only helps you see progress now, but it also will help you maintain that progress long-term. But here's the thing, even if you're getting 8,000 steps, it's gonna feel next to impossible to see progress if you're not eating the right foods for fat loss. And that's where habit number 4 comes into play. There is something called your TEF, and this stands for your thermic effect of food. And this is just basically how many calories your body burns digesting the food that you eat. So for every 100 calories of dietary fat that you eat, your body is gonna burn 1 to 3 calories. For every 100 calories of carbs you eat, your body is gonna burn 4 to 7 calories. And then for every 100 calories of protein that you eat, your body can burn up to 30 of those calories. And I know this sounds kind of crazy because that's almost like for every 100 calories you eat, you're actually only eating 70 calories. And not to mention, protein is one of the most satiating foods, which just means this keeps you full for a longer period of time. So you burn more calories and you eat less calories, which will help you be in that calorie deficit in order to lose the fat. So eating protein is important, but what's even more important is eating the right amount of protein at the right times per day. So in terms of how much protein you should be eating per day, once again, you can click the link in the description of this video and use my totally free calorie and protein calculator. It'll tell you exactly how much you should be eating, but a rule that I have for every single person is at least 100 grams of protein per day. And on top of that, this is best broken down into 3 to 5 meals or snacks per day. Because let's say you eat 100 grams of protein at once. You're probably gonna get a lot of bloat and digestive issues. You're also going to miss out on the satiety effects because if you're only eating once a day, you're gonna be hungry the rest of the day. And this is also not the most optimal for muscle protein synthesis, which is basically just how you build muscle. So typically the way that we like to incorporate this with our online coaching clients is something like you have breakfast, then you maybe have a snack, then you have lunch, then you have a high protein snack, and then you have dinner. This doesn't have to be exactly what you follow. Maybe you cut out the snack between breakfast and lunch, but somewhere around 3 to 5 times per day, you should be having protein. And speaking of our online coaching clients, something you may have noticed is we have progress pictures of all of our online coaching clients. And this is where the last habit is gonna come in. Most people who are trying to lose fat aren't tracking their progress. Correction, they're not tracking their progress accurately. If you are only going by the number on the scale, this is the worst thing you can do if you're trying to lose fat, and let me show you why. This is 1 pound of muscle, and this is 1 pound of fat. If you lose 1 pound of fat and you gain 1 pound of muscle, the scale is not going to change that much, but your body will look different. Do you notice how fat is bigger than muscle and it's also more squishy, whereas muscle is more hard? That's what she said. But your body composition will change and look different without the scale changing that much. Not to mention your body weight can fluctuate so much due to eating more carbs than usual, which makes you store more water weight, eating more sodium than usual. If you're a woman on her period, maybe you didn't get as much sleep. Your body weight is the worst way to track your progress. And the issue with this is if you're not tracking progress correctly, it's gonna demotivate you because you think you're not making progress, so you end up quitting, when in reality, you're probably making much more progress than you think. You're just not tracking it accurately. So this is exactly how we track progress for our online coaching clients that you can start doing as well. Every single day, you are going to take your daily body weight. Now I know you're like, Eric, you just said body weight isn't important. What we do is take your body weight every day and then divide that by 7, because that will give you your average daily weight. And this is more accurate than just going by the daily fluctuations because you look at it over a week. The next is you are going to take your body measurements, and these are primarily your waist measurement, so around your belly button area, your glutes / your hips, and your quads, your thighs, if you want to do those as well. You're gonna do these every 2 weeks. I can't tell you how many times maybe somebody isn't losing a ton of weight, but we take their waist measurement and it's down 1.5 inches, which means they're making incredible fat loss progress. It just hasn't shown up on the scale yet. So you do this every 2 weeks, and then you take progress pictures every 4 weeks. You don't need to take them every week because you're not gonna see that much of a change from week 1 to week 2, but you take them week 1, week 4, put them side by side and compare. Take them week 8 and then compare week 1 to week 8. Week 4 to week 8. And that's how you start to see and notice a change in your body. Because just looking at yourself in the mirror every single day, you're not gonna see that much change. But when you put the pictures side by side after months, that's when you're gonna see the change, just like you have thus far with our clients in this video. And now with these 5 habits, this is the beauty of this is you go from I need to lose weight, I need to drop 30 pounds, to I just need to hit my daily habits day over day, week over week. And you're more focused on the actions that get you the results. Because you and I both know if you do the actions, the results will come. Maybe not as fast as you want to, but they will happen. And if you're serious about getting results, but you just feel overwhelmed and you don't know exactly what to follow to ensure you get those results, then our online coaching program builds you a personalized plan from scratch that fits into your lifestyle, and you'll get paired up with a one-on-one coach on my team to check in and hold you accountable to make sure you never fall off track. You can click the link in the description below of this video to learn more about our online coaching program. I promise you, we will get you faster results than if you kept trying on your own. And after you do that, you can watch this video here for 9 years of honest weight loss advice in 17 minutes.